The Arsonist. Arsonist, it costs just 20 bonds, making it super affordable. Arsonist starts with 4 Molotov cocktails and a shovel, and its big perk is dealing double fire damage. This is perfect for torching a crowd of zombies with one throw, especially early in the game. But here's the catch. Once those Molotovs run out, the Arsonist is pretty much useless unless you find more in shops. Plus, throwing Molotovs is an art, as they're affected by gravity. One bad toss in a tight space, and you'll burn yourself. In solo play, it's a real headache, since without Molotovs, you're just swinging a shovel. In a team, the Arsonist shines if someone, like a vampire or cowboy, herds zombies into a group. Then, one Molotov can clear a whole town. But even in a team, its limitations drag it down. You need to constantly check general stores for more Molotovs to stay useful. Overall, the Arsonist is for those who love causing fiery chaos and don't mind the risk, but due to its reliance on Molotovs and weakness in solo play. Musician. This class costs just 15 bonds, making it one of the cheapest in the game. The Musician starts with a banjo, which lets you slowly heal allies by playing it. Sounds cute, right? But here's the big catch. You can't heal yourself. Plus, you get no weapon at all, just the banjo, so in combat, you're like a sitting duck for zombies. In team play, the Musician can be handy, especially in modes like Nightmare, where health doesn't regen on its own. You can hang back and support your team, slowly topping up their health. But in solo play, it's a total disaster. There's no one to heal, and you can't restore your own health, so zombies will munch you up fast. Another issue is the healing speed. It's super slow. Don't expect to save a teammate losing health in a fight. It's more for long trips when your team's getting worn down. To survive, keep a stock of snake oil or bandages and pair with classes like Vampire or Cowboy to distract enemies. If you love being a support and play in a team, the Musician's a decent pick for 15 bonds. But for solo play, or if you want to slay zombies, skip this one. Zombie. The Zombie class in Dead Rails costs 75 bonds and offers a unique ability, eating corpses to restore 10% health. It also has a reduced detection radius, letting you sneak closer to zombies than other classes. Close enough for 1 to 2 shotgun shots without being spotted. However, there's a major drawback. Zombies can't use standard healing items like bandages or snake oil. While eating corpses sounds cool, it's a flop in practice. Restoring just 10% health per corpse is far less effective than the quick healing from bandages or snake oil. Eating takes time, leaving you vulnerable in combat. Even munching on multiple corpses won't make up for the health you lose. Plus, if you're on a horse, you can't stop to eat, rendering the ability useless. The only perk is selling found bandages or snake oil since you can't use them, but that's a small gain. Zombie might appeal for stealthy town raids or role-playing, but at 75 bonds, it's overpriced. For survival and effectiveness, pick a more versatile class. Necromancer. The Necromancer in Dead Rails costs 35 bonds and starts with a standard shovel. Its gimmick is a 25% chance to reanimate an enemy killed in melee combat, but each reanimation drains 10 HP. Ranged weapons don't trigger this ability, so you're stuck fighting up close. This makes the Necromancer a weak class, as the health cost leaves you vulnerable. To get the most out of it, grab a vampire knife or jade sword. They boost the reanimation chance to 75%. Reanimated enemies, like zombies or even outlaws, can distract other monsters, which is handy in team play. But without healing, you'll burn through health fast. Pair with a doctor to patch you up after reanimations. Avoid using the ability without bandages or snake oil, as it's a quick way to die. In solo play, the Necromancer is a tough sell, as you're constantly at risk. In a team, it can be fun if you enjoy commanding an undead army. But for 35 bonds, there are better classes that don't make you suffer as much. Priest. The Priest in Dead Rails costs 75 bonds and starts with 2 holy waters, 2 crucifixes, and a shovel. Its gimmick is complete immunity to lightning strikes, letting you stroll through storms while others get fried. Holy water is like a zombie grenade, wiping out crowds in one toss, and crucifixes kill enemies in a single hit. Sounds dope, but here's the catch. These items are one use only, and once they're gone, you're stuck with a shovel that's about as useful as a spoon in a gunfight. To get the most out of it, Use holy water to clear big enemy groups and save crucifixes for tough targets like bosses. Lightning immunity makes the priest handy for Tesla boss raids, but on a sunny day, it's not a game changer. In a team, it can shine if you need storm time clears, but without resupplying, it's dead weight fast. Solo play is rough. 75 bonds for 4 cool items and no passives is steep. Pick it if you love tactical plays, but there are better classes for the price. Ironclad. The Ironclad in Dead Rails costs 75 bonds and starts with a full suit of armor and a shovel. Its gimmick is a 50% reduction in incoming damage, making it a legit tank that can soak up tons of hits. But here's the catch. You're 10% slower than everyone else, which makes you an easy target for fast zombies or bandits. The armor gives you confidence in fights, especially against gunfire, but without a horse or speed, you might not escape in time. To make it work, stick to cover, and don't dive into crowds without a plan. Grab snake oil or bandages, because even with reduced damage, your health isn't infinite. In a team, Ironclad is perfect for drawing aggro, while others deal damage. Solo play is trickier. Slowness screws with your ability to maneuver, and without backup, you can get stuck. Ironclad is a solid B-tier class, but for 75 bonds, the sluggishness can be a pain. Pick it if you love playing a tank, but there are more flexible classes out there. Miner. The Miner in Dead Rails costs 15 bonds and starts with a mining helmet, pickaxe, 2 coals, and a shovel. Its gimmick is constant helmet lighting, making night runs safer, and faster ore mining with the pickaxe. 2 coals let you start the train without spending extra cash. This makes Miner a solid pick for newbies looking to save money and gather resources early. But after a few raids, it loses its edge since ores become less crucial and the pickaxe isn't better than the shovel in a fight. To get the most out of it, use the helmet for nighttime trips to mines or towns to dig up ores. Sell them to buy a revolver or snake oil. In a team, share coals to speed up travel, but don't jump into fights without a proper weapon. In solo play, Miner helps you survive the early game, but in a team, its perks fade if resources are already covered. For 15 bonds, it's a decent budget class, but there are better options for the same price if you want long-term value. Doctor. The Doctor in Dead Rails costs just 15 bonds and starts with 2 bandages, 2 snake oils, and a shovel. Its gimmick is reviving teammates without bandages, though it costs 50% of your current health. Snake oils offer quick healing and can save you in a pinch, while bandages are great for long raids. Doctor is a king in team play. Keeping the squad alive is priceless. But in solo play, its abilities are near useless since there's no one to revive, and the shovel sucks in fights. To make it work, save snake oils for clutch moments, and only revive when you've got enough health to not die yourself. In a team, stay in the back, heal allies, and don't rush into fights without a weapon. Grab a revolver ASAP. Avoid solo play, as Doctor doesn't justify its 15 bonds without a crew. It's a mid-B tier class that shines in a group, but for the same price, there are more versatile options if you're rolling solo. The Alamo. The Alamo in Dead Rails costs 50 bonds and starts with 3 sheet metals, 3 barbed wires, a helmet, and a shovel. Its gimmick is early train fortification, giving your team a shield against zombies and bandits from the get-go. The helmet adds a bit of protection, so you can take a few extra hits. This makes Alamo awesome for team play, where fortifying the train is key to survival. But in solo play, it's iffy. Once you use up the materials, you're left with no special perks, and the shovel's trash in a fight. To make it work, place barbed wires in narrow train passages and use sheet metals to block outlaw bullets or shade a vampire teammate. Don't waste materials. Focus on the cabin, since losing it means game over. In a team, stick with aggressive classes like Cowboy while they clear enemies. For 50 bonds, Alamo's a mid-B tier class that shines in a squad, but for solo, you're better off with something more versatile like Cowboy. Packmaster. The Packmaster in Dead Rails costs 35 bonds and starts with 3 tamed wolves and a shovel. Its gimmick is taming any wolf that attacks you, building a whole army of furry fighters. Wolves tear into enemies, perfect for clearing towns or bandit camps. They also help complete the Dances with Wolves challenge. But without wolves, you're just a dude with a shovel, and wolves can die if you're not careful. To make it work, store wolves in the sack for big fights, and tame new ones in wild areas where they spawn often. Don't throw them at zombie hordes without backup. Pair with a revolver for range support. In a team, wolves distract enemies, giving allies time to strike. Solo play is trickier since you're vulnerable without a gun. For 35 bonds, Packmaster's a strong A-tier class, awesome for tactic lovers, but it's weak without wolves or a weapon. Pick it if you dig commanding a beast squad. Conductor. The Conductor in Dead Rails costs 50 bonds and starts with 2 coals and a shovel. Its gimmick is driving the train at a max speed of 85, instead of the usual 65, letting you zip through the desert and dodge dangers faster. The coals save starting cash, letting you buy a gun or supplies early. But here's the catch. Conductor has only 50 HP instead of 100, and with no starting weapon, you're fragile as hell. This makes it a beast in team play but a nightmare solo. To make it work, stick to the train and avoid fights until you snag a revolver. In a team, the faster train is a lifesaver, especially for escaping zombies or bandits. Solo, play super careful. Low health means 3 hits and you're down. Pair with a doctor for backup. For 50 bonds, Conductor's a solid A-tier class for team play, but solo, you're better off with something tankier. Pick it if you love speed and team tactics. High Roller. The High Roller in Dead Rails costs 50 bonds and starts with just a shovel. Its gimmick is collecting 1.5x more cash from money bags, turning you into a money-making beast for quick wealth. But there's a huge catch. You're 10 times more likely to get zapped by lightning during storms, which can one-shot you. Without a lightning rod, you're playing with fire. This class is for risk-takers chasing riches. To make it work, grab every money bag and sell everything you find. Ores, bandit corpses, whatever. Buy a lightning rod ASAP, because storms without it are a death sentence. In a team, beg allies to hand over valuables for you to sell, multiplying profits. Solo, hide in the train during storms and pray you don't get fried. For 50 bonds, High Roller's a strong A-tier class for economic boosts, but without caution, you're a sitting duck. Pick it if you're smart enough to play safe and love swimming in cash. Cowboy. The Cowboy in Dead Rails costs 50 bonds and starts with a revolver, 2 ammo packs, 48 bullets, a horse, a saddle, and a shovel. Its gimmick is early mobility and firepower. The horse lets you zip across the map, and the revolver drops bandits or zombies from minute 1. This makes Cowboy perfect for a fast start, especially for the Pony Express quest. But the horse is squishy, and if it dies, you lose a big edge. To make it work, lure zombies into a line on horseback and blast them with the revolver. Clears towns with minimal risk. Sell bandit corpses to buy more ammo or snake oil. In a team, Cowboy's a scout, quick to handle threats. In solo play, it shines early, but in late game, when horses are common, its uniqueness fades. For 50 bonds, Cowboy is a stellar S-tier class for early game and versatility. Pick it if you love speed and gunfights. Vampire. The Vampire in Dead Rails costs 75 bonds and starts with a vampire knife and a shovel. Its gimmick is double movement speed and double melee damage, making it a lightning-fast killer in close combat. The knife heals 5 HP per hit, letting you tank enemies while slicing them up. But here's the catch. Sunlight burns 2 HP per second, so you're either hiding in shade or dead in a minute during the day. To make it work, zoom through towns at night, herd zombies into a pile and shred them with the knife, healing as you go. During the day, stick to churches or shade, hold an item overhead to block the sun, buy snake oil for emergencies. In a team, give ranged weapons to allies. You only need the knife. Solo play is trickier due to sunlight, but your speed outruns everything. For 75 bonds, Vampire's a killer S-tier class for aggressive players, but without skill, you'll burn out. Pick it if you love speed and slaughter. Survivalist. The Survivalist in Dead Rails costs 75 bonds and starts with a shovel and a tomahawk. Its gimmick is double-ranged weapon damage, plus 1% extra damage for every missing HP. This makes it an absolute beast when you're low on health. Imagine dropping a werewolf with 3 revolver shots. But low health is a gamble, and without healing, you're down fast. To make it work, keep your health low for insane damage, but always carry snake oil or bandages. Grab a rifle or revolver and aim for headshots. Survivalist can one-shot zombies even with arm hits. In a team, pair with a doctor for heals and stay back from enemies. Solo play is tougher. One mistake and you're toast. For 75 bonds, Survivalist is a killer S-tier class for those who can aim and love high-risk play. But without skill or healing, you won't last. Pick it if you're ready to live on the edge and shred everything.